Today, let us start from question number 21 of exercise, miscellaneous exercise 5. Your question number 21 is, does there exist a function which is continuous everywhere but not differentiable exactly at 2 points? Justify your answer. So what is your question? You just see properly. You have to say whether there exists a function which is everywhere continuous but not differentiable exactly at 2 points. So first our question, does there exist a function? So our answer is yes. And you have to select the function in such a way that is continuous everywhere but not differentiable exactly at 2 points. So I have considered a function fx as modulus of x minus 1 plus modulus of x minus 2. And you see this function, that is modulus of x minus 1 plus modulus of x minus 2. This is the sum of two modulus function. And modulus function is continuous, everywhere continuous. So modulus of x minus 1 is continuous. Similarly, modulus of x minus 2 is also continuous. And also we know the sum of two continuous function is continuous. Hence, you see, you can write down that fx is continuous everywhere. Just I have written this much only. Since we know that the modulus function is everywhere continuous, sum of two continuous function is continuous, so the function f is continuous everywhere. So the first point is done. That is, the function is everywhere continuous. Now, we have to check the differentiability. And you see, for differentiability, we have to, the critical points here are 1 and 2. So we have to show it that this is not differentiable at the point x equal to 1 and 2. Okay. So for that purpose, what I am doing first, now let us check here the differentiability of fx at the point x equal to 1 and 2. So for this purpose, I am just going to do first the expanded form of fx because it's a modulus function. So you see, we can write down, modulus of x minus 1. If I break it, just as a rough work I had shown here, modulus of x minus 1 remains as x minus 1 when x minus 1 is greater than equal to 0. When it's greater than equal to 0, it remains as it is. When it is x minus 1 less than 0, the function becomes negative. Our aim is to check whether x greater than equal to what? So I have written here, x minus 1 greater than equal to 0 means x greater than equal to 1, and x minus 1 less than 0 means x less than 1. And this one, I just keep it as it is, x minus 1, and here I just write down the first term as positive, that is 1 minus x form. So this is the expanded form of x minus 1, and similar way we can write down the expanded form of x minus 2 is also equal to what? X minus 2 when x minus 2 is greater than equal to 0, greater than equal to 2, and this is equal to 2 minus x when x is less than 2. So here I have written the critical point 1 and 2 on the number line. Now you see these two critical point 1 and 2 divides the whole number line into 3 parts. In detail we have done this type of question in exercise 5.1. Okay, you can see there details I have done there. So here the miscellaneous chapter, so just one question of this type of question is here. So this divides the whole number line into 3 parts. One is for less than 1, other is for between 1 and 2, and other is for greater than 2. So first I have considered the case for x less than 1. When x less than 1, you see, x less than 1, remember, what is the value of modulus of x minus 1? That you have to check. Less than 1. So less than 1, x minus 1 is equal to what? 1 minus x. So this value I have written 1 minus x. Now here, you see for x less than 1. So x less than 1 means this part. Now we have to find out what is the value of modulus of x minus 2. So here you see this one, modulus of x minus 2. X minus 2 in this case it is less than 2. So number is less than 2. We have to get less than 2 means all the values. For all these, for all less than 2, the number is defined by this way. Here I did x minus x is less than 1. Right? So less than 1 will be also here. So the function is less than 2 function, that is equal to what? 2 minus x. This is I have written. Right? So now the next case is in between 1 and 2. In between 1 and 2, right? So here you see less than 1 means negative I have considered, less than 1 simply, so equal to 1 I have not considered here. For equal to 1 case I will consider the next part. So forget about this now equality sign. Now I have considered a case for 1 and 2, in between 1 and 2. In between 1 and 2. means 1 and 2 means is greater than equal to 1. So the function for greater than equal to 1 by defined by x minus 1. So this is the case, this one. What about this one? Here it is greater in between 1 and 2, so less than 2. So less than 2, the function is defined by 2 minus x. Just see. And here equal to case will be also here, because for less than greater than equal to 1, the function is defined this way. Okay, here again the less than 2 case is there, but greater than equal to 2 case I have to consider next. So for greater than equal to 2, for greater than equal to 2, greater than equal to 2 means on this side. You have to find out for greater than equal to how the function is defined. Greater than equal to 2 means here I'll consider the case for greater than equal to 1. Greater than equal to the function is defined this way. On the up to infinity it is gone. Up to infinity we can define it by x minus 1. So the function is x minus 1. And for greater than equal to 2, the function, this is defined by x minus 2. Right? So this is done, and then simplification is here. So I have just done the simplification. 1 plus 2, this is 3, minus x is minus twice x less than 1. The next case, x minus 1 plus 2 minus x minus x cancel out. Minus 1 plus 2 give you 1. So this is the second case. Third case, x plus x is twice x minus 3 is the third case for greater than equal to 2. Okay, now we have to see the differentiability. For the first case I have considered here for x less than 2. Less than 1. When x less than 1, this function is defined by fx equal to 3 minus twice x. This is the polynomial function, and we know the polynomial function is differentiable and continuous. Okay, now I considered a case for x between 1 and 2. This is constant. So for in between 1 and 2 being a constant function, this is differentiable. Then I have to consider a case for greater than 1. Just no need to write down here the equal sign. Okay, greater than 2. Greater than 2 function is defined by twice x minus 3. And being a polynomial function, this is differentiable for x greater than 2. Now I'll consider the cases for equal to 1 and equal to 2 separately. Okay, differentiability for equal to 1. So for equal to 1, the differentiability, how it is defined, let us see. At this one, what is f dash 1? F of 1 plus h minus f of 1 by h, limit h tends to 0. So limit h tends to 0, what is f of 1 plus h? You see, h tends to 0, right? So since h tends to 0, so I cannot substitute. We don't know whether it is greater than 0 or less than 0. So we cannot substitute the value of f of 1 plus h now. Because we have to, strictly we have to know it that whether it is less than 0 or greater than 0. Tends to 0 means either side. But we can write down what is f of 1. F of 1 value I have just substituted in the given function 1 minus 1 modulus of x minus 1, 1 minus 1 plus modulus of 1 minus 2, which is equal to, this is 0, this is minus 1, modulus is 1, so the value is 1. This is keeping as it is by h. Now I separate the left hand derivative. LF dash 0. So LF dash 1. LF dash 1 means less than 0. So limit h tends to 0 minus 0. 1 plus h minus 1 by h. For it, now we understand that h is less than 0. That is smaller than negative. So h less than 0. What is the value of 1 plus h? I'll consider it. 1 plus h will be less than 1. So when it is h, 1 plus h is less than 1, seek what is the value of the function fx. You see, for less than 1, the function is defined by 3 minus 2x. So what is fx? I have just written here 3 minus twice x. So what is the value of f of 1 plus h? 3 minus 2 into 1 plus h. Minus 1 is there and h is there. Let us do the simplification part here. So on doing simplification, 3 minus 2 minus twice h minus 1. Here 3 minus 2 is 1, minus 1 is 0. So minus twice h by h will be there. h has cancelled out, so minus 2, the value is equal to 2. Then I have to go for a right hand derivative, r at this one. Limit h tends to 0 plus 1, 0. Positive, greater than 0. So 1 plus h minus 1 by h. Greater than 0 means 1 plus h is greater than 1. So greater than 1, the function fx is defined by, fx is, you see, greater than 1, the function is defined by what? 1. That is the constant. So f of 1 plus 1 will be equal to also 1 because it's a constant. There is no place to substitute 1 plus h. So this is 1 minus 1 by h. Okay, which is 0. The value is 0. So here we have seen the left hand derivative is not equal to right hand derivative. So what is your conclusion? Since left hand derivative is not equal to the right hand derivative, therefore f is not differentiable at the point x equal to 1. Right? In the same way, we have to check the differentiability at the point x equal to 2. So by definition, f dash 2 will be equal to limit h tends to 0, f of 2 plus h minus f of 2 by h. Then I have substituted x equal to 2 here to get value f of 2. 2 plus h, keep it as it is, 2 minus h by 2 minus 2. This is 0, this is 1. So this value is equal to 1 here. Limit h tends to. But now, as earlier, we cannot substitute the value of f of 2 plus h. 2 plus h we can substitute when we know Either h is greater than 0 or h is less than 0, then only. So let us proceed now. So you see, here I have considered the left hand derivative of 2. Limit h tends to 0 minus 0. So we understand it, h is less than 0. Less than 0 means 2 plus h. Our aim is to get 2 plus h. So 2 plus h means I just add 2 on both sides. So 2 plus h will be less than 2. For less than 2, the function is defined by fx equal to 1. So 2 plus h will be equal to 1. 1 minus 1 is by h. So it will be 0. Now for right hand derivative, rh plus 0 plus 0. H is greater than 0. So 2 plus h is greater than 2. Greater than 2, our function is defined by 2x minus 3. So it will be 2 into 2 plus h minus 3. Right? Because our aim is to get 2 plus h. So after this, we just do the simplification. 4 plus twice h minus 4. That is twice h by h, which is equal to h. That means we have got the value of the limit is equal to 2. Okay, 1 minute. 2. So here we have seen that left hand limit is not equal to the right hand limit. That is, f is not differentiable at the point x equal to 2. So here the result is completed because we have seen the function is continuous for every real number but not differentiable exactly at 2 points, and those points are 1 and 2. Similarly, if any question asks for exactly at 3 points, we will do the modulus function also. Same example we can consider. Instead of writing x minus 1 modulus x minus 1 plus x minus 2, you write down one more term containing x minus 3. Then we can do the solution in the same way. Now, let us go to question number 23. Your question is, y is equal to e to the power a cos inverse of x minus 1 less than equal to x less than equal to 1. Show that 1 minus x square d2y dx2 minus x into dy dx minus a square y equal to 0. So you see, here y is given as this expression, e to the power a cos inverse of x. You have to prove this result. So as I told you earlier, you can do first dy dx you can find out, then d2y dx2 you can find out, and then put it on the left hand side, will get your right hand side. Okay. So for or otherwise, use the results earlier you have got to get the answer easily. So y is equal to e to the power a cos inverse of x. Here I am going to use e to the power x formula, thinking it as a cos inverse of x. The same question can be done by using logarithmic differentiation also. So here when I take ddx of y, that is ddx of e to the power a cos inverse of x, I am going to use here e to the power x formula. What is the formula of e to the power x? The derivative of e to the power x is e to the power x. So what is x you write down? That is equal to ddx of a cos inverse of x. Okay. After this, we are going to take the derivative of a cos inverse of x. E to the power a cos inverse of x, keep it as it is, a constant come out, and ddx of cos inverse of x is what? Minus 1 by under root of 1 minus x square. Okay. Now I just bring this to the left side. On the left side, we have already dy dx. If I bring it to the left side, it becomes multiplication because I want to avoid division. Because compared to the multiplication rule is easier compared to the division rule. That's why I just make it multiplication. Dy dx into under root 1 minus x square is equal to minus a e to the power minus a e to the power a cos inverse of x. Now you see, a e to the power a cos inverse of x is nothing but your y. You can see here. This is your, just a minute. Okay, this is your y. So you can use this as I given marked this as 1, and I have used the value of this expression as y. Because it will become simplified compared to this one. Then again I have to take the differentiation. Again differentiating with respect to x. Without writing also, you can write down this way. ddx of this into this equal to ddx of minus ay. Okay. Then here you see it is the product of two functions of x. This one and this one. Think it as u and this as v. So you will have what? U ddx of v, that is dy dx ddx of root over under root 1 minus x square plus under root 1 minus x square into ddx of dy dx. On the left side a is constant, so minus a ddx of y, that is equal to dy dx. Here dy dx, keep it as it is. Under root of this, you think it as x and do the apply the formula of ddx of root x. This formula is 1 by 2 root x, that is 1 by 2 under root of 1 minus x square into ddx of 1 minus x square, whose value is equal to minus twice x. This one keep it as it is, and ddx of dy dx is equal to what? Second derivative, that is d2y dx2 minus a dy dx. Okay. Then here you see, I just bring now this denominator under root of 1 minus x square. I'm taking LCM or taking common also, you can think, or you can think it as that multiplying both the side by under root of 1 minus x square. Then we can write down what? Minus x is left here, dy dx, and this become My under root of 1 minus x square into under root of 1 minus x square is 1 minus x square into d2y dx2 minus a dy dx into under root of 1 minus x square. Okay. Then you see, again you have seen here that dy dx into under root of this one is nothing but your minus y. So I have marked it as number 2. I am going to use it here. So this one you just keep it as it is, and this also keep it as it is. In the place of this one I have write down minus ay. So minus minus become positive. And then I just write down this is a positive term. So first term 1 minus x square d2y dx2 minus x dy dx, and I bring to the left side minus a square y equal to 0. Hence the result we have got. And here the miscellaneous chapter is completed. Okay. Next time I'll start with the application of derivative. Thank you.